report this week. The Golden Corral on Blanding Boulevard was cited with 8 high-priority violations. An inspector found moldy potatoes and peppers in the walk-in cooler, so they had to throw those out of there. 10 flies were in the kitchen, buzzing. Golden Corral is now in the clear. An inspector came back the very next day for a re-inspection, only finding one serious violation. There was raw shrimp was stored over open cookies. Cross-contamination an issue here. Also, raw bacon was stored over deli ham, and that is also something that could get people sick if some of that juice dripped onto the ham.
Heat lamps, hours of exposure, roasts turned into leather. This is not battlefield attrition, it's the silent war happening on buffet lines across America. Seniors who walk into these restaurants think they're choosing comfort and variety. Instead, they're stepping into a hidden danger zone where rubbery meat and wilted greens signal deeper problems: food safety, sanitation, and trust. We'll expose 9 buffet chains where sloppy tactics compromise health in ways that hit the elderly hardest.
For just $5, but some extra ingredients seen near that buffet got that place shut down. In a special Dirty Dining report tonight, we uncovered last Tuesday, August 15th, Cece's had to close for almost 2 days until that infestation was corrected. Cece's corporate office sent me a statement which reads, quote, "Food safety and cleanliness are our top priority." The Cece's on Posner Boulevard in Davenport had to stop serving all customers after inspectors saw over 25 live and dead roaches under the buffet bar, pizza oven in the dining room, on a case of pizza sauce, and on the front counter.
The question is simple. Would you spot the trap before sitting down? Stay with me and you'll learn the battlefield signs. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. The enemy isn't an army. It's a tray of rubbery chicken sitting 5 hours under a heat lamp. What waits at the buffet line looks like food, but for seniors, it functions more like a minefield. Nothing explodes. Nothing burns. Yet the damage builds quietly in weak joints, sensitive stomachs, and immune systems already fighting uphill.
And once we learned of an issue in the Davenport restaurant, we addressed it immediately. We're open for business, and guests can feel confident dining with us.
I think our pizza's better. We started thinking about that feedback we got from franchisees, and we decided, hey, let's put on a competition. We call it the Throwdown Competition. In fact, the franchisees at Cece's actually named the competition the Throwdown Competition. So we wanted their input to get their engagement, if you will, in our business, in our fun, a way of kind of communicating quality and service in our restaurant.
Think of the buffet as a massive supply depot. The doctrine is simple: move volume, keep it moving, and sacrifice precision for speed. Every pan, every ladle, every scoop becomes a conveyor in a chain designed for turnover, not care. Quantity rules. Quality takes the back seat. For a younger body, the margin of error might be wide enough. For seniors, those same shortcuts push right into unsafe territory. Seniors walking through the door expect comfort, the kind of mashed potatoes, pasta, and baked chicken that bring back memories. But beneath those warm lights, the meal isn't comfort. It's compromise. The first bite might look familiar, but the texture tells another story altogether. Food left too long turns dry or slimy. Temperatures hover in the wrong range. The eye sees abundance, but the body senses neglect.
A couple of months ago, a customer of Golden Corral snapped a picture that went viral. That picture was of a kitchen stacked high with dirty dishes. Today, representatives of Golden Corral told 23 ABC's Christine Din not to believe everything you see.
The customer says he was eating at the buffet and could not find a clean dish, so he went into the kitchen and found this.
23 ABC contacted the man who took the picture of the kitchen and its dirty dishes.
A picture can speak volumes, but when it comes to this picture taken by a customer at the Golden Corral restaurant,
That picture was just a snapshot. That wasn't the true story, the whole story.
At Golden Corral, insiders talk about a practice known as tray flipping. Old food from the bottom is stirred to the top. That hardened roast chicken or withered green bean gets a quick shuffle into view, disguised as if it just landed from the kitchen. It's not freshness. It's deception. The surface changes, but beneath that top layer sits food that has been losing integrity for hours under the unblinking gaze of heat lamps. Mac and cheese provides a clear field example. Left too long, the top forms a crust, baked hard by the relentless bulbs above. Staff come by with a wide spatula, scrape off the stiffened sheet, stir the gooey interior, and walk away. To the untrained eye, it looks good as new. To anyone paying closer attention, the tactic is obvious: reuse, remix, camouflage. Like dust thrown over tracks, it doesn't remove the danger, it just covers it. Ryan's buffet falls under fire for a different gap in defense: temperature control. Buffets demand hot holding and cold holding at precise ranges. When that fails, the line becomes a breeding ground. Here it isn't just aesthetics. Lukewarm fried chicken and mashed potatoes mean bacteria finds a place to gear up and multiply. For seniors, that micro-level battle has real-world consequences. A stomach bug that takes out a teenager for a day could sideline an older diner for weeks. Cesse's Pizza deploys yet another form of masking, spraying water directly onto old slices to give the crust a sheen, to make it look pliable and fresh-baked. But that water doesn't reverse staleness. It simply wets the surface, a thin film disguising an exhausted product. Bite into it, and the truth surfaces fast: limp texture, muted flavor, a hollow calorie delivery system pretending to be nourishment. This is what happens when the logistics of mass service clash with human need. The visual presentation becomes the battlefield trick. An army covers its retreat with smoke to hide weakness in the line. Buffets cover aging food with water, mixing, or additives. The tactic distracts the eye, but the underlying system shows fracture. These are not small slips here and there. They are signs of breakdown at every level of the process. Flipping trays, scraping crust, spraying water, bulking food with cheap fillers, these are not creative fixes. They are indicators of systemic collapse. An operation that truly values health does not resort to camouflage. It replaces. It rotates. It disposes when time runs out. The moment shortcuts define the rhythm of the kitchen, seniors pay the price. Weak immune systems, slower recovery, underlying conditions, they all amplify the risks of those decisions made behind the sneeze guard. So here's the tactical question. You step onto a battlefield and see the warning signs: units hiding weakness, supply lines stretched thin, commanders masking losses with smoke. Would you ignore it? Or would you recognize it as the start of failure and pull your people out? The buffet line is no different. The signals are there, and they are clear. The next phase of danger only gets worse. They promise plenty. Endless pans, glowing lights, lines of food stretching wall to wall. But behind that display sits a system wired for shortcuts. Trays flipped, crusts scraped, water sprayed, signs of neglect that seniors cannot afford to overlook. What looks like abundance is really a weak supply chain running on camouflage instead of care. Your stories matter. Comment your most concerning buffet encounter below so others can see the signs and treat them as battlefield intel. Share what you saw, what you avoided, and what you learned. Subscribe and join a community exposing the hidden traps that put people at risk.